What's up? Greetings and salutations. I've got my parts here, as some of them anyway. I'm still waiting on a timing set, but I've got main and rod bearings. I've got a new sealed power piston and a pin. I've got a gasket set including head bolts, and I'm right now going to work on pulling those lifters out there so I can roll the engine over. And since I'm going to be reusing all these lifters and the push rods, it's a good idea to keep those items in the same spot you took them from. So one of the things that I've done here is I've taken an old cardboard box and I have numbered them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the order that they came out, in the orientation that they were when they came out, and they'll go right back in the same lifter when I put it back together. And the same thing here, got them numbered according to cylinder, and I'll take them out in the order that they come out from front to back, and they'll go back in the same hole when I reassemble the engine. Just good practice to do. I'm going to pull this crank out. I did pull one main cap to look at the bearing, and I only looked at the bottom bearing, and it didn't look too bad. It didn't look too bad, I should say. So right now I'm going to pull these lifters out, put them in the container, flip this engine over. I might even go ahead and pull the distributor and take the cam out. Since I'm this far, I might as well at least inspect the cam bearings. And then I'll start cleaning this block up so I can keep the dirt out of it. And I'll run down to the parts store and get some carb cleaner, some brake cleaner, something to clean all these surfaces out, and I'll start putting the rotating assembly back together. But before I get started, let me just ask you to do me one little favor. There's about 6,700 of you that took the time to click the subscribe button, but looking at my analytics the other day, 80% of it, nearly 80% of the people that watch these videos aren't subscribers. So if you like what you see, please consider clicking the subscribe button. And if you do that, then go ahead and click that little picture of a bell next to the subscribe button, and that will let you be notified of any future uploads, so you won't miss any of this tomfoolery. Another thing that can really help promote this channel is the simple act of clicking the thumbs up button and then sharing this with your vast social media network. And that's one way to get YouTube's algorithm to put these videos in people's recommended feed. So if you could do that as well, I'll wait. Did you get it done? Awesome. You're awesome. Thank you. So let's get started ripping this thing down. The other thing I want to do is I'm going to pull this water pump off, not because I have to, but because on the 93, that lower boss, actually that's on the head, the thermostat housing. I need to do that. I need to pull this thermostat housing off. And in that other head, this bolt, this boss right here, where the bolt threads into, is cracked. And I want to see if I can go into the water jacket without actually messing anything up, to get into some metal with a little longer bolt so that I don't get so much leakage there. Otherwise I need to find a new head, which I don't want to do. So why don't we get started here, huh? Awesome. To check your lifter is to make sure that this part where it rides on the camshaft is flat, and I can see with the naked eye that this has got a little bit of a dish, and I need to go get my reading glasses. See how it's flat right there, and a little bit of a gap there in the middle, a little bit of a gap right there in the middle, but optimally you'd want to replace these, especially with as many miles as it's on this motor, but I don't have the money for it right now, and I just got to make this thing run for another year, maybe not even that long. So unless I see something that is really bad, I'm just going to head and run these. One down, you know, 11 more to go. I've got the cam out, I got all the stuff off the side of the engine. I've got copious amounts of penetrating oil in the baked on grease, and then tomorrow morning when it's cool I'll take it out in the driveway and power wash the heck out of it. Right now I'm going to roll this engine over and start taking the crank out. So these main caps are numbered. They're cast right into the cap itself, 1 through 6, and then number 7 here is the rear main. So you can't really get them in the wrong spot unless you're not paying attention, but you could invert these. You could flip them around. So if you notice, I'm looking down as close as I can the center line of the crank, and this web here is to the driver's side of the engine block. So for reference, there's the oil filter housing on the passenger side of the engine, and that web that goes across the main cap is to the driver's side. That segment is more for me than it is for you because I'm old and I forget shit, and I don't want to put those in backwards because I'll have an even worse day than I had a couple weeks ago. Out with the crank. Let's take a look at these bearings. Not too bad for a 300,000 mile engine. This one's a little bit shiny. I don't feel anything terrible in them. I could probably let them go, but I've got new ones, so I might as well use them. You need to go down to the parts store and get some brake clean or some carb cleaner and some maybe some engine cleaner, and I'll power wash the shit out of this engine and start putting it back together. But putting it back together will be tomorrow. Alright, one more thing before I decide to go inside for the day. I'm going to weigh the old piston and the broken bits. We've got the broken piston and the pieces that came off it in here. I'm going to weigh this and the pin. Zero it out. $566 grams. I'm going to come over here and get the new one. Sealed bar. $563 grams. I was worried about it being heavier and throwing it out of balance, but it's lighter, but it's less reciprocating mass by 3.5. I don't know, is 3.5 grams gonna really matter? We'll find out together. So that's all I'm gonna do yet today. I'll see you in the morning after I power wash this pig.